What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Katina, and I am going to share with you a class that I taught last weekend at the Bull City Yoga Festival. The class I taught was animal flow mixed up with some yoga. And so this is pretty much an animal flow class that is specifically for people who do yoga, because I have made animal flow very accessible to you if you understand the names of the poses. So let's get started. Go ahead and get your hands together. You could start standing up or sitting down, whichever works for you. Keep your palms together and start to roll your wrist in one direction. Just keeping your palms together. It's not a hurry. We begin animal flow always with wrist mobility because animal flow is a quadrupedal movement training, meaning we're on the ground in quadrupedal position. So we're putting a lot of weight onto our wrists and on our hands. And so we want to make sure that our wrists are ready to support our body weight like that. Switch directions, go the other way. It's not a hurry. So what is animal flow? That's a big question. The reason it's so accessible for yogis is because there's a lot of poses that are similar to yoga. It also draws a lot from capoeira, breakdancing, jiu-jitsu, gymnastics even. So it's a movement that draws together so many different types of movement, forms of art. It's like a dance. It's about community. It's about moving your body and feeling good. Now get your hands flat, fingers together interlaced, and start bringing your wrists forward and back. Don't show me the palm of your hand. Keep the palms of your hand facing down and just come out and back like this a few times. So how this class is going to work is after we would do our wrist mobility, we're going to set up beast and do beast activations. We're going to work on the under switch, which is a switch in transition. And then we're going to set up in crab and go through our crab activations. I'm going to show you a few more moves like the side kick through, the scorpion, and then we're going to string it all together at the end of class. And once you get all the moves down, we're going to put it together in a flow. Go ahead and start making a wave like you're at a rave, right? Yeah, this might come naturally to you, it might not. Just stick with one side, whatever side it comes naturally for you on. Really exaggerating the wave and making it as big as you can. And now stop and go the other way, the way that might not come naturally to you. I promise this gets easier over time. So there's a lot of positions and movements and animal flow that are named after animals, but the animal we're actually talking about is the human animal. We're going to do something now called magnetic wrists. So you're going to act like you have magnets all around your wrists. You're going to start with your palms up. You're going to bring your thumbs together, hands down, back of the hands together, coming up, switch, palms back together, and keep going in circles. So the base positions we're going to go through today are going to be the beast, which I talked about a minute ago, the crab, which I also named, and ape. We're going to do, those are static positions, and we work on stabilization in those, which is what they're important for. This time when you come to the top, start to switch directions, pinkies together, back of the hands together, hands down, roll around, wrists together, come up. We're also going to do the transitions, switches and transitions, which is what moves you from one base position to another. And we're going to do form-specific stretches, including crab reach, which is excellent for shoulder mobility. All right, go ahead, let's move on down to our hands and knees. As you see, I'm on a mat right now, and we're gonna use a mat for part of the class, but we are gonna end up moving the mat to the side, and be prepared to move off of your mat today. All right, start to just rock forward and back, getting in some wrist rocks. And come side to side. Now take a circle clockwise and counterclockwise. Now, if you're able to bring both wrists towards you, do. If not, just one wrist at a time. Fingertips facing you, the other hand can be forward. If it feels okay, you can flip both hands towards you. I know this is a lot for some people. And go ahead, lean back and hold. Continue to breathe. Deep breath in and out. Now come forward as far as you can and come right back. One more time. All right, if you're doing one hand at a time, go ahead and switch hands. Come back. Come forward. Exhale, come back. Lean into it. Come forward. Come back. And release. So I would like to introduce to you a position that we call wrist relief position. You're going to bring your back of your hands together and you're just going to move your hands up and down like this. This will bring you some wrist relief. If you were doing a live class with me, this would also signify to me or to any other animal flow instructor that you need a break, and we would kind of take a hint and be like, okay, you rest, do you? As in any other class that you're going to take, please take what you need and leave what you don't behind. Setting up in beast. First things first. In yoga, we do a tabletop position, and you think of this as your knees being under your hips, your hands being underneath your shoulders. Usually your toes are untucked and down. So in this position, you're nice and stable. You've got 6 points on the ground right here because your feet are still here. So if we were to do a beast, a quadrapedal, what you would do, you would bring your knees forward so that they're underneath your belly button instead of underneath your hips. You're going to keep your wrists so that they're directly underneath your shoulders and corkscrew in your arms. So don't just have your arms nice and loose right here where your elbows are out. You want them to not just be there, but it's like you're screwing the lid of a jar with your hand. So you're corkscrewing your arms nice and stable. From here, tuck your toes under. Go ahead and bring some cat-cow into this, really lifting up, lowering, cat-cow, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Now let's think about the scapular shoulder blade situation going on here, that part of the cat-cow. So lift your shoulders up, really push the ground away from you. And now sink your shoulders down and really bring your chest to the ground, trying to get your shoulder blades to touch. Come up, push the ground away. Now when you do your cat-cow, incorporate what we just did into the movement. Exhale. Inhale. Now I want you to kind of think about your pelvis and your pelvic tilt and that bowl of water that we're working to spill out right there. So when you're in your cow and you're dumping your water bowl out, your pelvis is really tilted forward, down, and up. When you come into your cat, you're holding that water nice and stable in the bowl. Do a few more, articulating your full spine. Not a lazy cat-cow, this is a very active cat-cow. Find your midpoint in all of those points of your spine. And once you are there, once you're at your midpoint, we're going to hold that position. And we're going to do what I will call beast. So beast position, we'll come to it when I say set beast. So your toes are tucked, your knees are under your belly button, your wrists are directly underneath your elbows. A good way to check your knee alignment is to bring your elbows down. Your elbows should be touching your knees. That should be a good alignment. Corkscrew your arms. We're going to lift our knees up and hold just an inch off the ground, half an inch off the ground. So this is a static beast position. We're going to do some activations. So go ahead, sit down, take a rest. When I say activations, that's single limb lifts and contralateral limb lifts. The reason we do this is when we go into switches and transitions, you're going to have to do contralateral lifts to switch positions. All right, so coming into beast, don't worry, we're not there yet. You're going to set your beast position, so bring your knees up. Let's just lift our right foot up off the ground, just enough for a piece of paper to slide under. And set it down. Pick up your left foot, put it down, pick up your right hand, try not to move. Set it down, pick up your left hand, set it down. We're gonna go into that contralateral lift. So this time we're lifting right hand, left foot. Try not to move, nice strong core. Set it down, pick up your left hand, right foot, and set it down. Go ahead, take a break. All right, so we've now gone through our beast and have done our activations in beast. So we're ready to learn the first move that I'm going to show you is going to be a side kick through. I'm going to show you that facing you first, and then to the side, you're welcome to join in or just watch until you get it. So from your beast position, if I were to do a right leg side kick through, by the way, this is my right leg, this is my left hand, this is my right hand, just being clear because this can get kind of confusing. If I were to do a right leg side kick through, I'd pick up my right leg, my left hand, I would pivot on the ball of my left foot, bringing my right leg shin parallel to the ground through, keeping my left hand tucked into my side. I would drop my heel when I get here. Nice strong shoulder. I'd kick out my leg parallel to the ground, my toes pointing out. My left hand comes back of the left hand to the face. I am looking directly out to my side. Return to beast. Coming back, pivoting on that back left foot, coming back to beast. Now to do a left leg side kick through, I pick up my right hand, my left foot, I pivot on the ball of my right foot, bringing my left foot through the window, dropping my heel, kicking my left leg out, bringing my right hand to the back of my face, elbow drawn back. Nice strong arm, not loose. In this position, if it's more comfortable to be high up, and this keeps your shoulder stable, please be here. And you're also welcome to just take a seat. So when you come to this position, feel free to sit down and rest. So you might notice when I'm doing this, I'm going in a straight line, side to side. Think of this as a 90-degree angle. When you do a side kick through, you're kicking directly out 180 degrees each side. So you go ahead and give that a try. I will show you from the side view so you also see that. And join me. Left leg side kick through. Return to beast. Right leg side kick through. Return to beast. Left leg side kick through. Return to beast. Right leg side kick through. Return to beast. Come down and rest. Come into a child's pose. Let's take a breather for a moment. You can have your knees out wide, sit your hips back or sit your butt back on your heels, reach your hands forward, bringing your forehead to the ground. Child's pose is a great restorative stretch. You are welcome to come here at any point during this class and take rest if you need it. So our next move, I'm going to introduce to you our balasana's funky cousin. So child's pose has a lot in common with the position in animal flow that we call loaded beast. You just learned that beast position is here. We just went into child's pose, which is here. So loaded beast is kind of a marriage between the two poses, I guess you could say. If we want to set loaded beast, from beast, we would sit back on our heels, keeping our knees up, and walk our hands forward, bringing our head between our biceps, just as we would in a child's pose. So we're pretty much in a child's pose, except for our knees are lifted an inch off the ground. Also, our toes are tucked. Go ahead and bring your knees down and rest. The reason it's easier to get into, that we get into loaded beast from beast, and that we don't just come to child's pose and lift up. If you want to go ahead and try to come to child's pose and then lift up, it's pretty difficult. Trust me, it's a lot easier to get into loaded beast from beast position. So we're going to do a front step, but we're going to come into it just like we would a lizard's pose. So set your child's pose, not loaded beast, set child's pose, have your knees down, tuck your toes under, and lift up into your downward dog. Take a few rounds of breath here. Just rest. When you are ready, step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand as though you were coming into lizard pose. So in yoga, we're very comfortable staying on our mat. In animal flow, like I said, you're gonna have to come off of your mat. So keep your left hand down. You can keep your right hand down for now. Bring your foot out for lizard about 3 feet away from your left hand. So it's gonna be about a foot off of your mat. The reason that you have this amount of space in between your hands for lizard is that we're going to go through. So here. If you were too close, you wouldn't be able to do that. Now first, step your foot back, come into downward dog. We're still just warming up for that pose. Now bring your left foot forward for lizard. And once again, step that left foot about a foot off your mat to the left, just getting comfortable in this front step position. When you're in front step, lizard pose, you're gonna come down onto your elbows. Here, you might drop your back foot. When you're in front step position, notice my back leg is long, my toes are tucked. When I come forward, my chest is up. I'm bringing up my opposite hand and my gaze is directly forward. I'm not coming down to my elbows. Go ahead, bring your hand down, come back to your downward dog. And bring your knees down. So, are we ready to try out front step and through? We are? I hope so, because we're about to. All right. So go ahead and set your loaded beast. Come to beast, sit back, and we're gonna do a right leg front step. So from here, you're gonna directly step with your right foot, bring up your right hand. This is your claw right here. Coming forward, your right toes are facing forward, your left hand is facing forward. From here, you're going to step through the window with your left foot, shin parallel to the ground, and then your left toes are pointing directly in front of you. Your hand comes into guard position, so you're guarding your face. You can take a seat if you are doing this with me. You don't have to stay upright. It could be a lot on your wrists. Your toes on your right foot should still be facing forward. From here, if we're gonna pop back to loaded beast, what we're gonna do is put back our hand and jump back. Let's try on the other side. Left leg front step, through. Pop it back to loaded beast. Go ahead and join me for 2 on each side. I'm gonna face the camera and do this so you see directionally we're stepping straight through. So set loaded beast. Right leg front step, through, pop back to loaded beast. Left leg front step, through, pop back to loaded beast. One more time on each side. Right leg front step, through, pop back to loaded beast. Left leg front step, through, pop back to loaded beast. And rest. All right. Now that we have gotten those down pat, we're going to work into our under switch. So, under switch is a fun way to go from beast to crab. Once you start working under switch, that's when it starts looking really cool, right? So go ahead, come up and set beast. And we're gonna do a left leg under switch. To do this, pick up the right hand, the left foot, pivot on the ball of the right foot. Bring the left leg through the window, shin down. Once you have turned fully, drop this heel, drop the other heel, and bring your hand down. Take a seat. You're now in crab position. If we want to go back, we would do the same thing. So set crab, meaning bring your hips up, left leg under switch, pick up your left foot, your right hand, bring that leg through the window, coming right back to beast. Let's give it a try on the other side. Set beast, right leg under switch, right leg comes up, left hand comes up, pivot on the ball of the left foot, right shin parallel to the ground, drop that heel, drop the left foot, drop the right foot, drop the hand. You're in crab, coming back to beast, right leg under switch, pick up the ball of the left foot, picking up the right foot, right shin parallel to the ground, pivot, back to beast, and rest. So when you do this, it's important to note you're not doing a perfect 180 degree. You're gonna end up kind of at an angle off your mat. You're not doing anything wrong. That's what it's supposed to look like. You're perfectly good. I'll give you another opportunity to do that on each side, and I will face a different direction, which might be helpful for the people watching on video. So right leg under switch, return to crab or return to beast, right leg under switch, left leg under switch, left leg under switch. Notice it's an under switch, not an over switch. You're not bringing that leg over the body, you're bringing that leg under the body. One more angle I will give you with this, performing an under switch. Right leg under switch, right leg under switch, left leg under switch, left leg under switch. And go ahead and take a rest on your butt. Come down to your seat. We're going to do a seated forward fold. Inhale, reaching your arms up, and exhale, hinging forward until you can't hinge anymore, and then round, reaching down to grab your ankles, your heels, whatever you are comfortable getting a hold of. Relax your head, let that hang. Starting to get a little stretch in our hamstrings and get us ready for the next set of movement. And roll yourself up. So I just started bringing you into crab pose. You got a brief glimpse of that. Before we move into more crab, the crab activations, and then going into crab reach, I want us to visit the similarities between reverse table, which is something that we do in yoga. So in your reverse table, as you know, you bring your feet down, your whole foot stays firmly planted on the ground. You stay kind of wide, thread apart. Your feet are kind of far away. Your fingertips are facing inwards. And when you come to a tabletop, a reverse table, you just lift up your hips. Don't sink down in your shoulders. If it's comfortable, you can bring your head back. And rest. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale and exhale, come up. Inhale, come down. Continue to breathe. And one more time, lift up. And release. All right, so now let's talk about crab. When you're in your reverse table, you're pretty spread apart. When you think about crab position, animal flow, I want you to be a little bit tighter. The biggest notable difference is that in crab, your fingertips are facing backwards. So in this position, you want your knees to be in line with your shoulders, the outside edge of your shoulders. You want your feet to be in line with your knees. So you don't want the knees to cave in. You don't want the knees to splay out. You also don't want your feet to point outwards. You want your toes to be directly forward. You want your hands and your wrists directly in line with your shoulders. If this is incredibly uncomfortable, you're welcome to have your hands spread out a little bit wider, but that will make moving in the position kind of awkward. So try your best to get your hands directly behind in line with your shoulders. And as I said, you're a little tighter than you would be in a reverse table. So when you set your crab position, you want to find your midpoint between your heels and your wrists. Once you're at your midpoint, your body is in the shape of a M. That's about where you should be. Your chest should be up and open. You want your whole spine in alignment. So your eyes should be looking up like you're watching a sunrise or a sunset. If I were to tell you to set crab, you would simply lift your booty off the ground about 1 inch or 1/2 inch. And then stick out your tailbone as though you were a sorority girl taking a picture. Don't let it sink in. Nice tall chest. Here is your crab position. And take a break. We're gonna do those same activations that we did in beast in crab. So when you are ready, remember you're always welcome to take a break. If at any point you need to be seated, go ahead and be seated. If while going through this, the movements are more comfortable while having a seat, please have a seat, okay? Set crab. We're gonna do the same thing. Make sure your butt's popped out like a sorority girl. Chest is proud and tall. Feet firmly on the ground. Your weight is between your hands and your feet. Lift your right foot just a little bit. Put it down. Left foot. Put it down. Right hand. Put it down. Left hand. And put it down. Now we're going to go into those contralateral lifts. So pick up your right hand, left foot. Put it down, pick up your left hand, right foot, put it down and rest. So it can be very tricky. Remember, you have wrist relief position too. It's always accessible to you if you need it. It can be very tricky to maintain balance in these positions. We do it to prepare ourselves for the contralateral movements that happen in animal flow. Okay, I'm going to show you now crab reach, which is a form-specific stretch that we get to from crab. I will show you in a few different directions. Let's do it first on our knees. I want to show you a variation that's a little bit more accessible. So come up to your knees, tuck your toes. We're going to begin with the camel pose. So bring your hands to your lower back and go ahead, bring your chest back and look up. And breathe here. Coming up. This time bring your right hand to your heel and your left hand to your lower back, stretching here. And come back. Bring your left hand to your heel, right hand on your hip. Reach. And come back. Now with your toes tucked, sit back down on your heels. We're going to work on a crab reach from the camel position just to get us warmed up for the crab reach position, or the crab reach form specific stretch. Excuse me. So to perform a crab reach from your camel position, you would get your right hand on your right heel. Your left elbow is coming to your belly button. This is a left arm crab reach. Your left hand is 6 inches in front of your face. Your thumb is pointing at your nose. Your fingertips are facing up. First, you would bring your back up and hinge. And the next thing you're doing, your eyes follow, your hand comes over your head, bringing your bicep towards your ear. Turn your head to the right, looking down at that foot. Return, bring that hand back, belly button down, sit back down on your heels. Let's come into a right arm crab reach in our camel pose. Left hand on the heel, right hand is in front of you. Bridge the hips, bringing that arm down. Your bicep is beside your ear. You're turning your head to the left, looking down at your foot. And return here. All right, now that we've gotten a little bit of back bending, we're gonna move into the crab reach position. So first we will perform a left arm crab reach. Set crab, lifting your hips. If I were to call left arm crab reach, you would first bring your left elbow to your belly button. You're welcome to have your hips down this first time, by the way, while we're going over this. Hand towards you. The first thing you're going to do is bring your elbow into your belly button, your hand in front of you. Second thing, bridge your hips coming up. Start to stack your shoulders on top of each other. This left hand is going to reach back, your eyes follow it until your eyes look at that hand that's on the ground. My bicep is next to my ear right here and the fingertips are facing down. And then I would call return to crab. Left arm comes back, hips come down, hand comes down. Right arm crab reach. Right elbow comes to the belly button, right hand in front of the face. Bridge your hips, shoulders stacked. Reaching with your arms, your gaze comes down at that left hand, right arm over your head. Fingertips towards the ground. Return to crab. Right arm comes back, shoulders are not stacked, hips come down, hand comes down. Let's give it a try on both sides. 2 more times. I'm going to change directions so you can see a little bit more. When you do this, make sure your knees stay in alignment and your feet stay fully on the ground. Your goal is to get that arm directly behind you. All right, come up and set crab. We're going to perform a left arm crab reach. Bridge your hips, stack your shoulders, bring that hand down. You're looking at that right hand behind you. Return to crab. Right arm crab reach. Bring up your right hand, hips come up, stack your shoulders. Right hand reaches behind you. Your gaze is at that left hand on the ground. Nice strong knees, feet fully on the ground. Return to crab, right hand comes back, hips come down, bring your hand down. 1 more time on each side. We are getting close to the point where we're ready to put this flow together. All right, set crab. Left arm crab reach. Left arm comes up, elbow to the belly button, bridge your hips, stack your shoulders, reaching with your left hand behind your head to your ears. Your eyes are down at that right hand. Return to crab. First return the eyes and the hand, then bring the hips down. Now it is time for your right arm crab reach. Right elbow up, hand in front of your face. Hips come up, shoulders stacked. Reach with that arm directly behind you, stacked over your head. A return to crab, first with the hand and then with the hips. And take a rest. All right, so we've got 2 more moves I want to go over with you before we get into the flow. Now that we have mastered crab, we've mastered beast, we've mastered the side kick through, we've mastered the under switch, we've gotten the crab reach, we've got to do a full scorpion, and we're going to work on our ape and then under switch to ape. So full scorpion you come to from crab. This is a fun position. First, I'm going to bring you to another child's pose. Take a little bit of rest. Knees wide, hips to the butt, hips to the feet. Excuse me, words are hard sometimes. Hands forward, forehead down to the ground, and rest. And bring your hands to the left off the side of your mat. Maybe you want to bring your right hand on top of that left hand, just stretching out your lat on this left side. Warming ourselves up for the movement we are about to do. So a full scorpion relates in terms kind of to like a down dog into a wild thing, into kind of a fallen star position, fallen triangle. You will see what I mean in a moment. Bring your hands to the right off the side of your mat. And come back to center. Go ahead and come into a downward dog from here.
So in yoga, doing down dog, your heels are reaching towards the floor. You're using your pada bandha, your hasta bandha. You're pushing away from the ground. Your hips are reaching up. We do move through a similar position in animal flow, but you'll see the heels up. So the focus in animal flow with these moves is not so much about bringing your heels to the ground. From here, go ahead and walk your feet together so your big toes touch. Lift up your left leg to the ceiling, bend your knee, and let's flip for a flip dog. Right here. So this is one of the transition points that you move through when you do a full scorpion. So when you're in your flip dog position, your right leg is straight, your left leg is bent. Get very comfortable, lower your hips to the ground right here. When we land in our full scorpion, this is how we're going to come down. Lift your hips back up, come back to your flip dog, come back to your down dog. You can do the same thing on the other side, just warming up. Lift your right leg, bend your right knee, and flip over for your flip dog. Keeping your left leg straight, bringing your right leg behind you, right arm up overhead. Really reaching. Now go ahead and keep that left leg straight. Lower down to your seat right here. Notice how when we lowered through this, we kept this extended leg straight the whole time. Keep that in your memory when we're learning the full scorpion, because you're going to want to keep this leg straight the whole time. Lift back up through your flip dog, coming back to down dog, and lower down to tabletop position. Well, let's practice some under switching. Left leg under switch brings you to crab. When we do a full scorpion, you're going to come into your full scorpion from crab. The flow I'm going to show you, you actually come to your full scorpion from a side kick through position. So you're here, side kick through, and full scorpion end in what is called a modified crab. So from side kick through, if you wanted to be in crab, all you would do is that and you're back in crab. All right, full scorpion. We're going to begin with the left leg full scorpion. This is my left leg, just to be mindful. I know this sounds funny that I'm reminding you what leg is what, but it makes a lot more sense. People get very confused often when we're going through this. All right, so if we are going to perform a left leg full scorpion from crab, first thing first, set crab. Left leg full scorpion, you pick up your left leg, your right hand, like you're about to perform a left leg under switch. You pass through beast position. If you need to rest, you can rest right here. But what you're going to do is you're going to keep moving and coming up to that downward dog, three-legged dog. I'm just in a very shortened version of this. So right now, I'm in this three-legged dog, and I'm going to flip for wild thing, or I should say for flip dog. So keep that right leg straight, drop that left foot, arm comes over, drop your hips, come down, your butt stays up. Notice that my toes are still up, my hand is up. All right, let's put the whole thing together now when we do it. And as I said, you're gonna move off your mat, just be comfortable with it. We're gonna do right leg now. So right leg full scorpion, pick up the right leg, left hand, come under switch, lifting up to your three-legged dog, flipping over for your flip dog, lowering your hips down, bringing your hand in front of you. There you go, it's that easy, right? Let's do 2 more times on each side. I'm gonna face different directions so you get a better idea of it. All right, set crab. Left leg full scorpion. Left leg comes up, right hand comes up, left leg through the window, lifting up, three-legged dog. Knee is bent, flipping your dog. Hips come down. And from here, set crab. All right. Right leg full scorpion. Right leg comes up, left hand comes up. Come to the ball of the left foot. Pivot on that left foot. Right leg comes through the window, lifting up for your three-legged dog, coming into your flip dog, lowering down right here. One more time on each side. So, set crab. Left leg full scorpion. Left foot comes up, right hand comes up onto the ball of the right foot. Pivot, left leg through the window, straighten that right leg. Knee, left knee to the ceiling, coming to the knife edge of the right foot, flipping your dog, coming down right here. And finally, one more time on the last side. Set crab. Right leg full scorpion. Right leg comes up onto the ball of the left foot. Right foot through the window, coming up, three-legged dog. Flip your dog, landing, and here we are. I've got two more things to show you, and then we're gonna put it all together into a flow. The final position that we have to master is called deep ape. It is a base position, and in yoga we think of it as malasana. So go ahead and meet me in malasana. So in malasana, our toes are pointing out, right? We usually have our knees, our hands are in Anjali Mudra, our chest is up. And a deep ape, you're in a similar position. Your toes are facing forward, your chest is upright, but your elbows are not holding your knees open. Your chest is out, your eyes are up, your hands are down. We like to have our toes facing as much forward as they can. I'm very lenient and understanding in this position as someone who has hips that go this way. So if you want to have your toes pointing outwards, it's not something that I personally would hold against you. All right, so you can get into this position from your crab position pretty simply. And this might be something fun to add to your yoga practice also, to come from reverse table into your malasana or deep ape, as we would call it, or set ape. So if I were to say right leg under switch to ape from crab, I would bring up my right leg, my left hand, I'd come up here, I'd set my foot back. Now drop my knee just so you can see something. It's like I'm on a balance beam and both my toes are facing the same direction here. So coming into ape from crab, right leg under switch to ape, pivot my heels, and here I am. If I want to do, I'm gonna face the other way, left leg under switch to ape. Pick up my left leg, my right hand, coming back, sitting down into the position. All right, give it a try, a little bit more from both sides. I'm gonna face you for clarity. We're gonna do 2 more times on each side. So set crab, right leg under switch to ape. Set crab. Left leg under switch to ape. One more time each side. Set crab. Left leg under switch to ape. One more time. Set crab. Right leg under switch to ape. All right, final thing I'm going to show you, and then we're going to put this all together, is a lateral traveling ape, which you saw me do a moment ago. You're going to come into your ape. If I were to tell you a left lateral ape, first thing you want to think about is your hand position. So you want your hands to place feet distance apart. So if my feet are here, my hands are going to place here. My right hand, if I'm going left, my right hand will plant in front of my left foot, and my left hand will transfer over the same distance as my feet are. I'm starting with my heels on the ground. If I said left lateral ape, I'd pick up my heels, I'd plant my hands, I'd jump, land with my right foot behind my left hand, and land. Right lateral ape, plant my hands, and travel. Go ahead and give it a try with me 2 more times, each direction. All right, we are going to put it all together into a flow. So for this, you might want to move your mat off to the side somewhere. And we are going to string together everything we just did. We're going to do it twice. So don't worry if you don't get it on the first round. And also, this is a video. Feel free to stop, to rewind, to go back through as many times as you need to. Starting off in that loaded beast position. So come into beast, set loaded beast, sit back on your heels, walk your hands forward. From here, left leg front step into that lizard, through. Pop it back to loaded beast. And from here, set beast. Just walk your feet forward. Left leg side kick through. From here, we're gonna do a full scorpion, a left leg full scorpion. So, just like I said, this is modified crab. Left leg full scorpion comes through the window, up around. Landing here, set crab. Right arm crab reach. Return to crab. Left leg under switch to ape. So my right arm's already up. I'm not even gonna put that down. Coming up here, left lateral ape. And that's the flow. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side now. All right. From the top, set loaded beast. Right leg front step, through. Pop it back to loaded beast. Set beast. Right leg side kick through. Right leg full scorpion. Set crab. Left arm crab reach. Return to crab. Right leg under switch to ape. Right lateral ape. All right, one more time on each side. You're doing great. I'm sure of it. I can't see you, but awesome job. Set loaded beast. Left leg front step, through. Pop it back to loaded beast. Set beast. Left leg side kick through. Left leg full scorpion. Set crab. Right arm crab reach. Return to crab. Left leg under switch to ape. Left lateral ape. Last time, final side. All right. Set loaded beast. Right leg front step. Through. Pop it back to loaded beast. Set beast. Right leg side kick through. Right leg full scorpion. Set crab. Left arm crab reach. Return to crab. Right leg under switch to ape. Right lateral ape. There you go. There's your flow. There's your class, animal flow through the scope of yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked it, subscribe, share. Hopefully you can come join me for a class, either locally, in person, or virtually online. Thank you.